Hey guys, it's CarGuy11. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to a CarGuy11 Live. I haven't done this in a little while, and I found a new streaming service, the StreamYard. So hopefully it works out well. It's already easier to set up, and I think it will do a lot better than the last one I was using. So want to get into these again a little bit. But yeah, tonight's main focus is track cars. Having just come off my first track day with the new 2020 GR Supra, lots of questions about comparing them to the C7 and other track cars I would recommend, or you guys would recommend. So definitely want you guys input on here. Comment below or join in the chat if you're watching this live. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some good suggestions for people who either don't have a track car or want to are looking for a car, sports car that is track worthy. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool for those that have never been on the track before. Maybe talk about some track advice as well. So lots to think about tonight. But yeah, so before we get into it, as people get on, definitely introduce yourself, say hi, tell me what track car you have or what are you looking for, and we can discuss it as well. But yeah, since my last live stream, it's been a little while. As I said, did a few Supra videos, and we're going to talk about the Supra. Of course, just had the track day. That was the last video, but I also had two press cars since that last live stream, and one was the Toyota 86. Excellent car. I love that thing. Very fun, lightweight car. And then I had a competitor to it, the Mazda Miata, another lightweight, fun sports car. So we can talk about those as well as track cars. A lot of people run Miata spec track cars, so that's an excellent choice as well. But yeah, and then we can't forget the C7 Corvette. Took a road trip with it. Had some fun on some back roads. A lot of people liked it. 30,000 miles also hit in the C7. So if you want to check out those videos, definitely check out the playlist and these past videos here on the channel. And also, if you don't want to miss a live stream or a video, definitely hit the subscribe and bell notification on YouTube so you are notified of these. And also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I don't give a lot of notice to when I am doing the live events, but a couple days. So sorry if you didn't know about it, but you can always watch these back and try to keep them pretty short and to the point, and you can play them back as a normal video. So hopefully, again, this StreamYard is working. So far, it looks like it's working. Hopefully, people can hear me. Let me know. And it looks a little bit easier to use. So excited about that. Until YouTube starts letting you screen share, that's the thing. YouTube doesn't let you screen share, so you kind of have to use one of these services. But anyway, all right, let's get into it. Why don't we just start with the Supra, because as I said, just got out of it and had my first track day at my home track of Pit Race, just outside of Pittsburgh, and it was a Track Night in America advanced group. I've run it before several times, this track, and it's a really fun track if you've never been. Lots of elevation changes and curves, high speed as well, and got the Supra up to 122 miles per hour. And actually, it was slower than the C7, have to admit, C7, I got up to 132 on the straights, and but this is the first time at the track, still getting used to the car, and there's still more performance in it. I wasn't ringing it out completely. Still getting used to the car and the brake capabilities, stuff like that. So, it'll improve. I have actually another track day this Sunday. I'm going to the NASA event at Summit Point in West Virginia. I've never been to that track, and this is part of the super buying experience for 2020. You get one free track day at a NASA event, so you could pick them any one across the country. Never been to this track, and it's not super close, but it's not too far from me, so figured I'd check it out. That's also where the Supra was launched last spring. They had a launch event there, and they had journalists go on track with the Supra at that track. So looking forward to getting there and seeing how she does. Maybe get a little faster. They also have instructors, but due to the pandemic here, they're not going to be riding in the car. It's like a lead follow type thing. So I think it's the first session would be lead follow, and then after that, they'll just monitor from afar or whatever. But yeah, so pretty cool, interesting, and looking forward to seeing how she does. But anyway, the Supra itself did very well. I was really happy with it. Brakes held up. The handling, pretty neutral. Now, it can get a handful if you are aggressive with the throttle. The rear end will come out, but that was something that makes the car fun as well. And a lot of reviews have said it's very tail happy, and it is. But I also have to say that you kind of have to provoke it, and like every time it happened, I knew it was going to happen. I wasn't surprised. So I think the ultimate grip isn't as high as the Corvette, and it's a little bit more confident in the Corvette. Of course, I'm more used to that car, but it does handle a little flatter, the Corvette, faster, stuff like that. And I also have track pads on the Corvettes. So all in all, the Corvette did beat it. But like I said, there's still plenty of time to improve the times of the Supra. But anyway, so I have some stories here that I found. Let's talk about the 2020 C8 Corvette, though. So I did see a C8 at the pit race event I went to, and I talked to the guy that drove it. It was fast. It did well. It beat my fastest time at the pit race. But he was complaining about understeer and tires and not enough grip. I believe he is going to try the track alignment. But yeah, this article in particular from Car Scoops talks about, well, actually it's a car throttle YouTube video. And go check this one out. They showed how bad the C8 understeers. In this video. So definitely check this video out. It's on Car Scoops and the Throttle House YouTube channel. I watched it. I was kind of shocked. I've heard of the understeer problem before, but they showed it, and it's pretty bad. So the C8 had glorious reviews. I don't think these people are really driving it hard. The ones that love it, yeah, it is a great car. It looks like an exotic. It's super fast with that dual clutch and almost 500 horsepower. That's where you're making up the time in the straights. But beware. Do not believe all the praise this car is getting. Uh, the handling needs tweaked, and you'll see it in this video. It's really bad. Really, really strange how understeery it is. They basically said it was the most understeer they've ever felt in a car. so, so be warned. I'm not sold on this car yet. I haven't driven it. I'd love to drive one, but I don't know. I think it's a lot of hype without substance behind it. So now, hopefully, the next version, and I'll bring this one up, the Z06 improves upon that. I don't know if you guys seen this. Um, huge tires. Look how wide that rear tire is. But the funny thing is, look at this wing on the back. CarGuy11's watching. Hey, CarGuy11, thanks for joining us. Hi, what's understeering? Is that like I felt in a Jeep Wrangler? Understeering is sort of like that when you turn the wheel and you can't, and the vehicle's not turning, so you just kind of plow forward. So yeah, sort of like what you felt there, but it's even worse on a sports car and on a racetrack when you can't turn the car. So you really need to move that weight forward, and that's one of the issues with the C8. Yeah, they made it mid-engine, but it's really heavy in the rear. I mean, it's heavily rear bias. So over 60% of the weight's in the rear. There's 40% up front. So you really need some more weight over the front tires. And the funny thing is, the C7 was already mid-engine, and the C7 is front engine, front mid, but it's still actually rear weight bias. So I mean, +1 again for C7. I know I own one, but they did an excellent job on that chassis, and it still handles wonderfully. Now you can get the rear out if you're really pushing it, of course, but otherwise it stays pretty planted. So, but Steve says NASCAR calls it push. Yes, yep, push. So, but anyway, hopefully the Z06 here improves the handling, makes it more sporty. I don't know if they were worried people, the old guys driving Corvettes were gonna crash them or what, but they need to improve that handling, make it more responsive. So, but anyway, yeah, the Z06 here is going to bring probably 600-ish horsepower. It's going to be naturally aspirated, which is exciting. They're talking about 5.5 liter V8, but it's going to be the flat plane crank, high revving. So I'm actually, this car would be pretty interesting with the dual clutch. It's going to be a monster on track if they get the suspension right and the handling. So hopefully they will. Hopefully they will sort it out. Maybe even on the Stingray make improvements, or of course there will be the Grand Sport coming as well. But the Stingray, I don't know. Beware. It's not all it's cracked up to be. I am, I'm glad I didn't get it. Put it that way. Now I should say there are criticisms about the Supra handling as well. Well, I mentioned the one thing about the oversteer. True, it does. It can easily oversteer, but they're also calling bump steer when you compress the rear. The rear end wiggles. The only thing I felt there under extreme hard braking, I did feel the rear wiggle a little bit, but other than that, I didn't see much issues. So I'm not saying the Supra's perfect either. There's definitely been criticisms of the Supra handling, but I think it handles more neutral, doesn't understeer as much, and I thought it was a joy on track. So C8 haven't driven, but I'm not sure on that thing. So, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to other ones. And this is an article about the Porsche Cayman GTS, which I'm extremely interested in Caymans. BMW M2, another great car, and then the Mercedes AMG A45. Now, this article, well, it's really a video again, had them all on track, actually very similar times. I'm very surprised that Cayman was actually the slowest, but I bet it was because of the manual gearing in the Cayman. It's not the best. That's very tall gearing, and it's not the most powerful. That's one of the reasons why I didn't get this car, because 4.3 seconds 0 to 60 for a car that costs $100,000, and the Supra is faster. But the exciting news here is Cayman is getting the PDK option. Here's this article here. Yep. For 2021, the Cayman and GT4 and Spider, of course, will gain the 7-speed PDK. So this is going to improve the 0 to 60 times, acceleration in general, much better gearing, and it should really improve lap times. And actually, these cars are more race cars anyway, so I think it's more appropriate for the PDK here. I know I'm a manual fan, but due to this gearing in the manual, I don't know. That'd be a hard sell for me for this price. I'm okay with the slow car, and of course, I like the Toyota 86. But for this price and not that fast with the tall gearing, and Porsche even admitted that their gearing is not the best, and that's the only transmission they have, unfortunately. So the PDK should solve all of that, and I'd like to see what the pricing is now. 2021 starts here at 88,000 for the GTS Cayman version. Now, if you add the PDK and all that, I don't know. They don't say what the pricing is. Another interesting thing, Caymans in general for 2021 are adding some option standard, which is nice. The climate two-zone climate control, heated front seats, dimming mirrors, rain sensors, bi-xenon headlights, and Apple CarPlay, which is good. So those will be all standard. This generation is getting long in the tooth, so at least at least they are making some things standard that should be standard for a car at this price range and this this day and age. So, but anyway, yeah. So another excellent track car, although pricey one. All right, let's move on to the Toyota 86 Subaru Brios 8. Now, like I said, I've had this press car several weeks ago. Toyota sent me one. I was sold on it. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. It was a lightweight. The suspension was taut, but it wasn't totally uncomfortable. It was a great firm chassis. And this car for me seems like the perfect track car. You're not going to kill yourself in it. You're not going to get into trouble. No, you're not going to be fast as a Supra. No, you're not going to be as fast as a Corvette on track, but you're going to learn how to drive the car at 100% basically, and learn the track, learn the lines. It's a momentum car. And same with the Miata. Let's talk about the Miata too. The Miata, same thing, except if you leave the Miata stock, the suspension is so soft and lean so much. I think you'd have to do some upgrades. Now, my car was not the sport suspension. That may improve things, but it was way too soft, I believe, for the track. You would have to do some upgrades there. But the 86 out of the box, I think, is pretty good. The tires, you know, they do offer a better tire package, but the tires I had were not, you know, super grippy. Those would need replaced. And then they do offer a Brembo brake package, the Miata and the 86. And I did a video comparing these two. But I think with the Brembos and the better tires, this thing would be super fun on track. And I don't know, maybe I'm getting older, but I don't need to go 130, 140 miles per hour on track. It's actually pretty damn scary. So you're not going to go that fast, but you're going to learn more technique better. So that's what that's why I like it. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below, and you know, in the chat if you guys are on too. But just so you know, there's going to be a new version of the 86 BRZ coming out, looking like next summer. So I'm definitely interested to see what that brings, and interested to see the changes. Going to be slightly more powerful, hopefully, and but I hope they keep that lightweight, stiff chassis, and just improve upon it. And in the interior, hopefully they do some tweaks there as well. But yeah, so those are my top picks for track cars. Of course, there are a ton more. I should say the M2, I didn't really talk about it. The M2 is a great choice as well, especially if you need back seats. Not a great picture here, but I really love that car, although it is heavy. It's getting to the heavy side. It's like, I think it's close to 3,600 pounds. So I like the Super better. It's a little bit lighter weight. The Super is actually faster. Most tests, the Super ends up being faster because it is lighter weight. Plus, the styling of the Super is more distinctive. It looks like a special car. It is, you know, the BMW looks pretty much just like any other BMW. But I do like the M2 though. Great choice, and you can get the manual in that car. I really think the manual is coming to the Supra eventually. Here, every year they said they're going to be making changes, so I'm going to assume that manual will be coming at some point in the Supra. But the auto was excellent on track. I do have to say that I mostly kept it in auto because it shifted perfectly, and it did not upset the chassis when it shifted. I tried shifting it manually. The problem is I couldn't. It was hard to see the gauges. It was sunny. The sun was coming in, and the heads-up display unfortunately does not have a red line or shift lights, which it sorely needs, so that I can see when to shift. But and exhaust is not overly loud, besides for the crackles and pops, which actually did get me in trouble. And I have that at the end of the video if you didn't see it. They pulled, when I was done with my first session, they pulled me over to the side and said, "Something's flapping on your car. It's reports of flapping. Can you check out your car?" And I was like, "I think you're hearing the exhaust." But yeah, it was quite funny. But anyway, yeah, but anyway, I'm really excited to get this car back on track this week. I'm going to be taking a little road trip down to West Virginia and getting more data. I did have a slight issue with the wheel spacers making a ticking noise, and I've had this on another back road trip, and I reset the spacers, retorqued them and everything. I thought it went away, but it showed back up on the track. So this time, this track day, no spacers at all. And I want to make sure I don't hear that ticking noise without the spacers. If I hear it without the spacers, there's a problem somewhere else. So, you know, I have to get that checked out. But anyway, we'll see this weekend. And of course, there'll be a video on the track day this weekend. So, But all right, guys, I think I'm going to end it here. Definitely, if you have more suggestions, better suggestions, put them in the comments below. And you know, track days are always fun. You got to be careful, but if you're smart about it, they really tell you about the car and expose any issues and flaws in the handling, power, anything. So, and no overheating issues at the Super. I have to say, I was a little bit worried about the turbo, you know, forced induction on track. It's tough to cool, but no problems. And also, I was worried that there would be turbo lag. I felt that before when I had my Audi A4. That was more of an old school turbo um, manual. I probably wasn't revving it as high, but you definitely felt that delay in throttle response. You push the throttle and it would take a few seconds before the turbo kicked in and then pushed you back. This no problems. And now, of course, that automatic really kept it in the power band, rarely dropped below 4,000 RPM. So, you know, that's hard on the engine as far as temperature and everything, but the temperatures were okay. So that was about a 90-degree day as well. So pretty happy overall with the performance of it, and looking forward to more track days with it. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching this one. Definitely check out the past videos on the channel for more content on the Supra, on the Corvette, on the Jeep, and even the press vehicles. I really hope I'll be getting the 2021 Supras here this summer as well to compare them to the 2020. See if that suspension tweak I could feel. And unfortunately, I probably won't be able to get it on track, but yeah, I would love to feel the difference there of the improvements they made for the 2021, including a power increase. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for joining me on this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.